Hello YouTube, just going to do a video on my DVD recorders I have here. These DVD recorders I've been using to capture game footage since the mid-2000s. The models at the bottom of the screen are no longer working, or they have faults. The one at the top there is working, so let's take a look at these ones here that aren't working. This is a DVDR70, Philips DVDR70. That came out in around about 2003. I didn't buy it till 2004, and that was a second-hand model from Comet. I had to buy the remote separately as well. And the next one up there is a DVDR80. That's exactly the same, except it's got a matchline facility if you're into recording TV programs. And that was bought around about 2015 from Cash Converter for about £30. That one up there is the one I'm still using at the moment. That's basically a hard drive model of these two. I will say that if you were buying these for their intended purpose of recording TV programs, they're actually very bad. They're full of design faults, manufacturing faults. You can have a look at some of the old forums for audiovisual enthusiasts online, and they are riddled with complaints about these models. But they do something very special in terms of recording video game footage for the time. Okay, so this is the main Philips DVD recorder I'm going to be focusing on today. This was one of the last ones that was released. It's called a HDRW720/05. The main advantage on this one is it has an 80 gig hard drive inside. It doesn't sound like much, but it's fine for my needs. Okay, so these are remote controls that went with the DVDs. The DVDR70 and 80 remote control, this one here, is actually relatively straightforward to use. It looks a bit complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it is fine. This one, however, for the one that I'm still using at the moment, the 720, is quite frankly an abomination. It's ridiculously complicated. All the options are at the top there. It's very difficult to get your head around. And yes, if you were buying that just to record TV programs for its intended purpose, you would be pretty annoyed by that. So it's not a good product for its intended purpose, recording TV programs. It's probably a 4 or 5 out of 10 for that. Okay, so the main advantage of these DVD recorders, or the reason I bought them, is for the following capabilities. It's got RGB SCART input and RGB SCART output. See, the output's got a SCART cable in at the moment. It also allows you to record RGB in either 50 or 60 Hertz, and it had an RGB pass-through. Now, the final option is actually very important. If you tried to record it on most other DVD recorders, you'd have a lot of lag. Now, you can get around that with a SCART splitter, but this is nice to have it all in one place. I'll just show you the inside of this DVD recorder itself. So this is with the bonnet off. So of course the first thing you see there is the hard drive. That's an 80 gig hard drive. I've looked into actually replacing that with a larger hard drive, but I don't think that's possible on this particular model. Firstly, you need a special format disk that Philips engineers have, and I think the hard drive may actually be married to the motherboard in there, so even if you manage to clone it, if it notices any discrepancies, it probably won't work. So I'll look into it still, but I don't think it's possible. And of course, the fact that the hard drive is about 20 years old now, it means it's prone to probably going to fail at some point. But there we go. It's not like it's expected. I did actually replace the DVD drive because the old one was failing, which wasn't too much surprise. I bought it second hand, so there we are. This is actually a Philips IDE one that was compatible with this. Not all, you can't just stick any old DVD drive in there. The Philips only accept DVDR and plus RW drive, so if you have a universal drive, that's probably not going to work. I think it has to be a Philips one as well. I'll put the model that I replaced this with. I remember seeing an old forum somewhere, and it gave a list of models that are compatible with this DVD record. Perhaps some specific chipset, I don't know. Yeah, that was replaced, and it's still working okay at the moment, touch wood. Although you're not going to be able to see it from here, and just where the hard drive is there, where I'm shining that torch, there's a little serial port, and that would actually link up by special cable to an engineer's laptop, and then he'd go in and make some, do the diagnostic tests. I mentioned that there's actually a special disk to format hard drive, so again, I've got no access to that, and I think the hard drive may be married to the motherboard, so I don't think it's possible, but I'll still look into it anyway and see where we go from there. So that's just a quick look inside. Nothing too exciting unless you're a DVD recorder engineer. But yes, that's the main thing, the hard drive and a working disk drive. They're not going to work without each other. Okay, so we're now going to take a look at some recording some Sega Mega Drive footage. There's a Mega Drive there with a copy of Mick and Mac Global Gladiators. I'll tell you why I chose that one in a moment. So it's in 60 Hz mode on the Mega Drive and it's coming through fine, but you'll notice there's that screen saying it can only be used in the country where it was originally purchased. So, now, if I try to change that on the fly, it will just basically turn the DVD recorder off because it doesn't like swapping between 50 and 60 Hz. That's most modern game capture cards don't like that either, but this certainly doesn't. One quick advantage I will mention is this particular model, unlike the earlier models which I showed you previously, this one can record Mega Drive signals out of the box. Prior to that, because of the way the resistors are set up in the SCART cable, I'd have to put a VCR in the chain. So basically the Mega Drive to the VCR, VCR to the DVD recorder, and use a VCR as a pass-through to enhance the signal. But on this particular model, it just accepts the Mega Drive signal outright, and it's fine. I'll quickly show you the pass-through. So what we've got at the moment, this is actually the processed image. So if I then do that, that's the 240p coming up there. And then of course the DVD recorder is going to see that as 480i, so it doesn't do progressive images. So there we go. And do that again. So that's the pass-through image, and that is the processed image. As you can see, it's slightly different. Probably not going to see on this camera, but to let you know, that's the pass-through feature there. Okay, so the reason I chose Mick and Mac is if you tried to load the Mega Drive in 60 Hz with a PAL version of the game, it'll basically shout at you and say it's only going to be used in the countries originally purchased. So it thinks that it's an American version in there, and if you try to reset it, it'll just keep giving you that there. So this is how we get around that. We go to the Mega Drive SCART cable and just pop it out like that, so you get a black screen there. On the DVD, you've got that little ring there that shows that the signal is still working, so to speak. Now what I do is I quickly change that to 50 Hz blind, and then I reset it. Okay, and then what I will do then is I will then switch that to back to 60 Hz, and then I will plug it back in, and hopefully that will work. And there we are. Probably notice the music is going to be a little bit fast, so I just simply will switch it off. And you can see there that's now accepting that fine. So we've got the pass-through image, and we've got the processed image. Again, the pass-through image and the processed image. Okay, so let's take a look at the options inside the DVD recorder itself. So this is the disc menu. Now a lot of these are just for watching DVDs, so don't really apply to what I do, but some will. You've got the TV shape, black level shift, video output. Only interested in the RGB one there, but you've got S-video and some component options there if you want them. This one here shows the latest firmware, which was updated in 2005. Nothing beyond that for this machine, unfortunately, so it is up to date as much as it can be. So now we'll look at the hard drive itself. So we'll take a look at this road rash recording first of all. You can see how it captures fine. It might be 60 Hz, I'm not sure. But you see that it does the Mega Drive fine out of the box on this one, no chaining VCRs things together, so that's alright. Okay, Zombie Revenge on the Dreamcast. One of my one credit completely plays through there. So I think they've got some PlayStation 2 stuff, gambling stuff I was doing a while ago. So that you can notice there that's actually a bit squished. I do have an option on the TV to expand that a little bit, but that's just the way the PlayStation records. The signal comes through, it looks a bit squished, but it does fine. That's all needs to be, as most of the time it's just me that's looking back at the footage. If you wanted to transfer those to disk, the way this machine works, it doesn't actually record directly to disk, it only records directly to hard drive. Then you have to archive it using that option in the green there where it says archive, and that would archive it to either a DVD+RW or a DVD+R. The latter has to be finalised. That's a one write only. Of course, rewritable is fine, but that format is rather unstable. Let's look at some of the options that you get with the hard drive. So, system menu here. You've got your preferences, of course. You've got your recording mode, M1 being the best, M6 sort of being more VHS quality down there. Camera mode doesn't really work for camcorders. Chapters, yes, I like the chapters on or off. A buffer, that's sort of recording, because this machine actually records and then you switch it on. And after 3 hours it sort of demeans in quality. I don't know how that works exactly, but it's not something I really pay much attention to. Language, of course, don't need. Satellite record, I usually have that on, doesn't make any difference to me. Direct record on. Safety slot, again that's more time shift, so that doesn't really matter to me. Setup now. Again, that really worries me. The only one that we need to worry about is the flush buffer. So when I finish recording, that turns a temporary recording to a permanent recording. So it's a bit of a convoluted way of working. You really got to get used to it on the remote, but once it works, it's relatively fine and convenient. You can quickly look back at some footage all in one place, rather than sort of messing around with laptops and other capture cards. It's all there under one roof, so to speak. The one thing I will show you, if I did want to, you can edit these as well, which is really, edit just means splitting it in half, so I could split those and I could change the name of it and split it in half if I wanted to. But I'm not going to bother with that, it's just to show that it does work. And yeah, so just a quick look at this Philips HDRW720/05 recorder from back in the day. It still works fine, not sure how much longer, but I'll keep it going as long as I can. Okay, thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye bye.